I'm celebrating my birthday, but it isn't what it looks like. My birthday's coming up, and looking from the outside, you'd think everything's fine. And, birthdays are usually like a happy celebration. And as like it's a happy celebration, I will be making plans, and who knows, I might even have a birthday cake. I will have people around me who care about me, maybe even love me. But underneath all that, there's a lot more under the surface. There's so much more. I didn't plan to talk about grief online, but after my daughter died, I realised that I had no choice because there's so much that's gone unsaid. This channel exists because of my daughter. Her name's Diva, and she was beautiful inside and out, and intelligent and clever. um, you could say she had it all, but then maybe she didn't. Let me tell you about my birthday, because I think after you've lost someone, things like birthdays can just change, and it's not a celebration in the way it may look. It's not coming from a place of joy. It's one of the hardest days of the year, and it's a difficult time of year anyway because it's summer. I hear a lot of people say, oh, at least it's coming up to summer and the evenings are lighter and longer and the sun's out. Everyone's like in a better mood in summer. There's an assumption that things are easier and that the brightness will help me feel not in as dark a place. But it's not always like that. And sometimes the brighter it is outside, the more you see people are having a great summer, the more difficult it is when you're not feeling that. Because while you're watching other people enjoy the sun and the lighter evenings, it may still feel dark for you. And even more so that you're the only one that's in the shade. And there is a name for what happens to me around my birthday. Maybe you've already heard of it. Maybe you experienced it yourself and didn't know what name it was. But they call it anniversary reactions. And you can feel like this around significant dates, birthdays, and often the days before it are harder than the actual day. Your body starts preparing for the anniversary or the birthday, whatever that difficult day is. And sometimes your mind doesn't even catch up and click what's going on. If you're experiencing that, you're not alone. And it's what grief does. And sometimes you've got to go through this process, and it doesn't always happen within the first year. Quite often, with a significant loss, it can be continuing for years later. I find it particularly difficult because Diva died in May, and she pre-ordered flowers for my birthday. And I'm sure this came from a really well-meaning place, but you can imagine I was shaken to the core when I received those flowers. I wasn't expecting them. And it's just really difficult because those flowers obviously then died. That was my first birthday without Diva. And each birthday since has been difficult. You might see photos or videos of me having fun. And it's not like I'm performing. I am gathering people that I would like to be around, that bring a smile to my face, people that I want to make memories with, because that's how you get through a difficult day, or I do, where possible. It's normal that you can be in real deep pain and still try and find joy and laughter on difficult days. And for me, it helps if I've got a bit of a plan, because especially those days before, if I don't know what I'm going to do on that difficult day, there's nothing to prepare for, there's nothing to look forward to. It's just an empty day, and it's already an empty day because my daughter's not there. And how do you make sense of celebrating that you're another year older when your child forever remains 26 or however old your child was when they passed away, it's really difficult to make sense of, and it just baffles your mind. It just doesn't make sense. I think definitely in the early year or two of grief, I really did try and put positive things in my days and weeks and months, things to look forward to, things part of me feels like when eventually I see my daughter again, I want to be able to tell her things that I've done, or if she's here with me, that she experiences things with me. I do try and live the best way I can. And I haven't always known whether it's the right thing to do. This is something I'm experiencing for the first time. I've experienced grief before, but losing my daughter, age 26, I'm in midlife, absolutely mind-blowingly difficult. You lose, particularly with trauma, you lose a lot of the history. My memory's shocking. But you've lost that shared history, because the same way she used to tell me things, remember mum when we did this, remember this, I've lost those shared memories that she held. My present is quite often occupied by thoughts of the past or anxieties of the future. And of course, the future that I thought we had has gone in any shape or form. It's not recognisable. I think I've gone a bit off track, but it's very difficult. The now is very difficult because you end up going backwards and forwards. You need things to bring you into the now. I'm not having a party, but I have invited people to party with me, because I just think you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring, and you don't know, there could be someone in your friendship group that isn't going to be here next year. And it's really important as well sometimes to just put aside the grief and concentrate on the now and enjoying the now. And it's a way of bringing everyone together and having a good time, having a dance, listening to music. And, there's times when I've wondered, am I doing the right thing by trying to live positively? And actually research tells us now that there is the backwards and forwards with grief. It's not just a straight line. You can be laughing hysterically one day and crying half an hour later. That's okay, but just keep trying. It's hard to do normal tasks, to just be and doing normal living when you're grieving. And I think sometimes you have to take a break, rest, and other times you kind of have to step back into life and go, right, I'm doing today, and do it the best you can. And on my birthday, that's what I plan to do. I am going to do it the best I can. I'm not celebrating that it's the day I was born. I'm not celebrating I've lived another year. I am literally making my way through that day the best I can. And I've made a plan, and that's the best I can do. I'm just going to gather my people close and try and make the day resemble a normal birthday that I would have had as much as possible. But throughout that day, it's going to be present that my daughter is not there. That will always be on my mind. But I think it's important to try and be with the people that are still there. And anyone who's lost a child will know you do lose people that were there. Friendships fall apart after you've lost a child. And it kind of makes me want to pull the people in that are still there a bit tight, pull them in a bit tighter, make some memories with them. Because I know losing my daughter has taught me how much it costs to lose someone, and it's really painful. Take a breath. I'm going to do my best with this birthday. I know I've got changes coming up within the next year, and I'm going to concentrate on my own healing. I'm going to try and concentrate on writing a memoir about how it's been for me healing and growing through grief after losing my daughter. And hopefully it will help others feel less alone. If you want to help others feel less alone, please just put a comment below and say what has helped you get through those difficult days, the days where you feel like you're supposed to be celebrating and feeling real joy and people are looking at you either thinking you are when inside you're not, or when you're just literally dreading the day. How do you get through it? How have you got through it? Please comment, because it might just help someone else. Thank you so much for sitting with me, and please subscribe and look at my beacons. The link is in my bio and I'll put it in the description, and you can sign up to get updates about my book if you're interested. And please just give me a push every so often to go, Sinead, have you written another page? But yeah, thank you so much for the support. And if you're going through this, I'm thinking of you too. Thank you.